Hi, it's Joey, and today I'm going to be watching Roswell, New Mexico, Season 4, Episode 5, You Get What You Give. This show is finally back on air. It wasn't on last week because of the 4th of July. Honestly, ridiculous. I am stressed, I'm excited, I love this show. A reminder that, as always, you can find the unedited version of this reaction and all of my reactions on my Patreon. And let's go.
Gun down, Max.
So the question is she even the third member of Bonnie and Clyde's triad? Shit.
But I know so much about our world and your place in it. What else would I be to you? It's changed since our savior's dead, but it doesn't mean he doesn't serve a purpose.
Oh god, what does that mean?
Coming along nicely.
Oh no.
This flame is the flame of the savior. I'll show you who you were meant to become.
I mean, burning Jones's body so he literally cannot come back, sure.
The torch has been passed.
Oh, Max. Is this shape-shifting alien an even more formidable opponent than Jones?
A walk on old Sutter's property, clear my head.
She have Jones's body?
Yeah, at first I thought she was gonna try and resurrect.
Can we make sure this is really Max? We can't just accept that it's really Max. We know she takes people's clothes.
But I think I'll just stay away from her until the print fades.
I'm sorry, are you not worried about this? Because I'm definitely worried about this.
No?
No, I mean, she didn't want to kill me. She just wanted to talk.
Max,
Look,
it's just...
what I'm worried about right now is Cam. Right?
Is this even
Is there
Max?
something you can do?
Because he's not taking the Tesca threat very
We'll
seriously.
make sure that the alien DNA is no
I
longer...
think we should extend the courtesy to Eduardo.
Okay, but also, Michael, Alex, I know he's wandering the desert looking for stuff for you, but also he would have checked in by now with Maria's mum and everything. So if you could just be a little worried about your boyfriend. I get why you're not.
Where he is.
Oh god. I'm happy.
I'm sorry, is that a butter knife?
Do you tell Alex everything that's going on with you?
I was trained in the art of trust issues for 20-some years, Max, so no, I do not.
He's currently
I
missing.
regret it. Every single time I don't let him in.
Well, when I tried to propose to Liz, she said I had no choice but to evolve, and that it was her mission to make sure that happened.
Well, she seems to be doing it.
Hey,
Should use your real face, Tesca. Back in his weird crushed down mind.
Someone who could call you on your lies? You see, I don't think you are fine with who you are.
Does she pick up memories as well as looks?
Speaking of, can you feel this?
Okay, I think he can. And actually, this is not a good way to teach somebody.
Your organs from the inside, and you will have the power to change everything.
Max! Hey, Max, come on! Max!
Oh, Michael was so worried.
Tesca pulled me into my mindscape.
You're unwilling to call your boyfriend out when he's being a closed-off dumbass?
Max is only going to tell me when he's ready. We
That
just
is a
have to learn
healthy
to
environment.
that.
Only, of course, this time I actually had someone who was worthy of my honesty.
You worked your way
Telling
up,
her the truth, I just
sweetheart.
drove the only good relationship I've ever had right off a cliff.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. It's about...
Just there was a better one directly in front of you. But it's gonna be fine.
It's a relief being around you.
It's a relief being around you, as in being around Kyle makes her feel safe and secure, and just you can see what that did to Kyle as a statement. But like, he loves you so much.
Making sure he didn't get away from anything.
Well, why not just mind wipe him?
I wasn't the one who decided his fate.
Oh,
Regardless.
All I want to do is help.
he's coming from a less fanatical place of wanting to help her than you. Michael, I love you.
See, on the night you crashed,
Kyle, your family has been protecting my family for the last 75 years. You know what this means, right?
No. He's learning.
This is where Bonnie... Yeah, there's plenty of suffering here too, but the pleasures of this world hide it behind glamour. Humans are obsessed with the illusion of happiness.
I mean, you're not
Infinitely
wrong.
familiar.
On the Oasis, I didn't have a home. I had to run and steal and hide.
Whoa.
And then the
Vulnerable people
So
get
you
taken
found
in
me.
by cultists,
Don't
cult
give you
leaders.
my value.
You
Yep.
gave me a path forward.
Explains why this guy is so
I'm
hook,
being
line,
real.
and sinker.
I'll check the secondhand instruments.
Like, this guy, he doesn't seem like a bad person, but he does believe in his cause wholeheartedly, and that is when he's willing to cross lines, which makes him dangerous.
Then be honest with her, Evans.
What is going on, Cam? You're supposed to be on my side.
She is on your side. She knows what's best for
I am
you.
on your side.
Did his dad get him out of his pod and then dump him back in a pod in the lake at some point? Whoa.
With your gifts, you can help it grow.
All we can remember is dad training him to use powers. Bless. So Dallas's dad found him in his pod and brought him to safety, and then...
This matches.
I left my dad to run Deep Sky and decided to pursue some of the family businesses. Wood carving.
She's not an alien. Interesting. And that's why she took her form when she was traveling. It makes sense.
Forgive me, but shape-shifting Azteca. She named herself Deska before sending me into a pod nap.
Interesting.
She understands irony.
Okay, so she is really the third in the
Thanks
triad.
for patching me up. Some come in peace, others are better cut into pieces.
Oh. I look forward to your
I mean,
TED
is
Talk.
that not true about all humans as well?
But I can tell you I didn't hurt him. I don't want to do that anymore. Oasis has always been Tesscut and Clyde's dream, but my dream is here. On Earth.
You can
It's
respect
not just in
that.
the books and movies. I think Tessca wanted to take the clone back with us. I mean, I think that's where her focus has been this whole time.
Not a very aligned triad, are they?
We'll both be free to move forward.
Yeah.
Where are you, Teska? Come to me.
Max. Yeah. He called her this time, though. That is an upgrade.
Figured if you could use... You can't lie in here, Teska, so...
But if Liz is coming here, is he gonna lash out with his powers without knowing she's there or something? Stress. Proud of you, Max, but I'm also stressed.
It's what makes you a giver of life. Transformative in many ways. Pure incitation.
Enough
Hey.
riddles.
They need it for
Tell me what
something.
it is.
Picture an energy.
This
from
isn't the
within
worst
sun.
idea, because if Max can learn to control his power, he has the power.
Hold out your hands.
But just Liz, don't be walking right up in front of him right now,
Feel
please.
that energy travel
I
from.
think it's time I put it into practice. Then break our link.
Fuck, yes, Max.
Points on being clever,
She's literally here?
but our link told me where you were. You're wasting your potential trying to save one small town when there's a whole planet that needs saving.
That is not my responsibility.
It's your destiny.
He makes his own destiny.
I don't care about a fake kiss.
No. Alright, I need to go back. What did she say about Ophiuchus? Ophiuchus is forcing it, or Ophiuchus is...
It's your destiny. Ophiuchus is foreseen it.
Okay, yes, Ophiuchus is forcing it. So Noah knew a whole lot more than he ever let on.
Is more than who leads it. It's a movement. A
Fuck.
path. And you.
Oh, we're gonna see bits of her real form.
Is that possible?
I've been called intrepid.
Liz!
Just as Ophiuchus has a plan for you, Max.
Oh, Lord.
Rest assured it has one for her.
Jesus, Max. Max, behind you!
Guys, don't turn back into caterpillars, Max.
Max can learn to control this power like every other power. It's gonna be fine. Liz is gonna be fine.
It's alright. Stay calm.
Her? She knows it was an accident. She knows you would never hurt her.
I should have just told you everything this morning. I've been
I
here.
should have pushed.
They're learning and growing and being as healthy as ever, and it's good. It's beautiful. She has had Alex for weeks. I don't know how much in-game intro time has passed, but it's been days at the very least. And I'm stressed about this. And I am assuming Tyler wasn't available for some of the filming or something, but I am stressed.
You want to see home?
And not just a hologram.
I'm so concerned about what this device is going to do.
This
Oh, Michael.
We're home.
A little fun.
Isabel, he really likes you.
Life,
I don't know if
we
you're
got
ready
to
right
dance
now,
and
so...
connect. She wasn't my person.
The person she always comes to when she's troubled is directly in front of her right now.
And alien. Beautiful.
Oh, you're her person. Already? I'm so here for this. I didn't think it would happen so soon after an answer. Is this definitely Maria? Can we just make sure it's definitely... Like, I'm sorry, every single time someone walks into a scene, I'm like, is this Maria? I don't know for sure that it's Maria. I don't know why the alien would have decided, Tekla would have decided right now to impersonate Maria and go and chat to Liz, but what if she has?
It also took away the cause.
I'm so glad she's finally telling it.
I might not be able to see the future anymore, but you gave me something even better. You gave me an actual future.
Exactly.
It's just a friend.
I really love this. I think it's partly plot point wise because having a character that can see the future can become too convenient for the plot, but also just Maria accepting this finally because, you know, was why she broke up with Michael and everything. You know, everything we went through where she was viewing her powers as being her connection to her family, whereas now she's more secure in the connection to her family that she doesn't need her powers to feel connected, and I love it.
I think Max and I want things to be simpler than they can be.
I know. It's a learning process. I understand that clearly Tyler Blackburn was not available for filming or something, but just, it's beginning to test my believability that no one has noticed that Alex has not responded to a single time. No one has he gone into cell service, as they call it in America, and his phone has said, Maria's mum has died. He would at the very freaking least call her. No one has noticed this. At some point, I hope, Alex is just going to swan back into town and it'll be Tekla and then they'll finally freaking realise he's missing.
Since you're leaving Roswell, I think you
I'll
should
miss
know.
you. Oh. He's not a bad guy, he's just misled. Quote Lincoln from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh, Michael.
Alright, that
Is Michael not sharing this what the device was doing with the others? Because he was like, oh, Max, if we could know what it was. At least it's not a danger.
Yeah, Dick.
He was having some trouble with the fire as well. I thought that was just him learning the fire. Michael?
I can't.
Whoa, I think you might be sick.
It's not possible.
He's never been sick in his life.
Yeah, no, aliens don't get sick.
I think Michael's sick. I have questions. My first question is, how dare you end? What were you thinking ending the episode like that? Just what crossed your mind that you thought it would be okay to end the episode like that? That is my question. This episode was fantastic. I will read it again. I know I said it in the reaction. I'm guessing for whatever reason they were like, oh, Tyler Blackman's not available, so we'll just write Alex out for a while. Fine, I respect it. It's not so much the fact that he's not in it that is frustrating me, although obviously, like, I want him and Michael to be having scenes, and I was really hoping to see Alex be interacting more with everybody, but it's more the fact that it's not even been like it's a bit weird that Alex hasn't responded to my messages. Now, I suppose a potential answer to that is Alex is responding to messages. Maybe he did call Maria, and maybe it's all Tekla, and she's faking it, but I need something, because the way they ended that episode with him was so traumatic, and now it's just like, la 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 la. I need just a little taster of what's happening. Because like I said, if Tekla has been putting on his face and been FaceTiming and texting, I will be like, okay, fair enough, they don't know anything's up, because he is responding. But yeah, just my slight gripe is, if it doesn't happen in the next episode, the frustration's going to get a bit more real. And again, it doesn't mean that he has to necessarily be in it, or that obviously I want him in it sooner rather than later. I understand that for whatever reason he isn't in it, fine, but just, why are we acting like he doesn't exist all of a sudden? Okay, back to the actual plot. Michael collapsing is not something that I signed up for, it's not something that I'm okay with. Now, why has this happened? Is it from eating the fruit? Was the fruit poisoned? Is it from working the machine? The machine has some kind of a side effect? Because aliens don't get sick. Does the device have some kind of alien pathogen, like an Oasian pathogen? Because I imagine they got sick on Oasia. Oasis, even. Or are Tekla and Clyde and Bonnie onto Michael and therefore infecting him somehow? Because I'm not going to speculate too much, but I'm freaking stressed. It is really beautiful to see him forming this connection with Bonnie, where he just sees someone that's lost like him. And I think he is really understanding Clyde, and he looks at Clyde and he sees that this isn't an evil person. You know, this isn't Tekla, who we are genuinely frightened of. This is someone that maybe also needs our help, but it's a much trickier way to get help. Michael can probably see himself in that if when he was younger, someone like Jones had swaned into his life, he would have been sucked into the orbit as well, because Jones found vulnerable people and gave them a home. So it's just really rich layers. The 3 new aliens we've met are also rich, and I love it. Very concerned for Michael though. I find it fascinating that Dallas's dad got him out of his pod and was just running around the barns of Roswell with him. Because obviously, because of Jones, Nora and Louise didn't want to. They didn't think it was safe to bring their child out. And, you know, we had Michael in season 2, I think it was, being kind of like, oh, so my mother was able to make this connection with this random boy and she didn't have me. Why did Dallas's father think it was safe? Was he not aware about Jones? Was he separated? Because we didn't see him with Nora and Louise until they were in Evil Prison Place. It's interesting, but initially I was thinking like they'd been to here, I was worried that it was going to be like, oh, we came to Earth before, because that might have, then actually maybe they did come to Earth before. Maybe they scouted out a place for the Oasians that wanted to flee to go. That wouldn't be the craziest thing. Obviously we know they crash landed and we always thought Earth wasn't the intended destination, but maybe it was, just not in a crash landing in the way that it appeared. So I think either of those options are okay with me. I was really worried for it. I don't know why. My brain instantly is like, don't change the backstory that we have established. But no, it actually could be okay. And it's interesting as to why Maria's mother drew it. So glad Maria finally told Liz about her visions. And I'm really proud of her for the way she's approaching them with this, you've given me a future. I think in the fullness of time, once there isn't a next step, once there aren't bad guys around every corner, once there's been some time, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for Liz to potentially look into a way to reopen up Maria's pathway to her abilities, like Maria wanted. But right now it is not a priority. Maria is healthy and that is all that matters. They're really erasing the Mainses. Like, Maria's just going to end up with Dallas at the end of the season, and I'm okay with that, but I'm also like, it's February. Kyle and Isabel. I am so surprised that Isabel already kissed him. Like, I knew that was where they were, I hoped that was where they were going. I think I know when, for me last season, my response was, okay, I love her with an answer, but Kyle's right there. So I really am enjoying this development, but her to kind of get over an answer so quickly, I suppose with an answer it was, she still feels that, but the feelings for Kyle were kind of under the surface already, and an answer really was not like just a stepping stone. They could have had something really true. But I think Isabel needed that experience of letting somebody in and being willing to fully trust somebody and having that love that was just pure and good to be in a healthy enough state to approach another relationship. In the same way that potentially had she dated Kyle first, that wouldn't have ended well and she would have been better off with an answer in the second go, although I think she and Kyle are perfect for each other. And it is true that Kyle has been, since season 2 at the very least, I can't remember if in season 1 they interacted overly much, but he became the person when Isabel has a problem, she goes to Kyle. If she can't talk about it with Max, if she can't talk about it with Michael, she goes to Kyle. To the point where she was even apologising to Kyle that everybody was always going to him. So I really loved that when she said, oh, Anatsa wasn't my person, Kyle was. And when she said, oh, what was it? It's a relief to be with you, or something like that, it just, because he makes her feel safe and home, and that was everything. And you could kind of so see Kyle every time she said something like that, being like, and then just being like, but I'm not going to push this, you know, she's not ready, she doesn't want to be with me, and that's fine. And it was Isabel who escalated it into let's dance. It was Isabel who was like, oh, so you made it clear about interspecies relationships, and so all he did was say, well, actually, I think you're really beautiful inside and out, and then she kissed him, and it was everything, and I'm really happy about this. The fact that it wasn't even an alien in the pod, because I was sort of getting really muddled in my head. I was like, are there 4 aliens running around? Is Tekla really the triad member? But of course she didn't even need to be an alien in the pod. It was just like Rosa. And I love that. It was Kyle's long lost cousin, Eduardo. Do a better job of parenting, please. But, just, yeah, the fact that they got her out of the pod. They were able to understand that the Valentis have known about aliens and even spoken to aliens throughout so much of time. These two different branches of the Valenti family trying desperately to keep Sky people safe. It is really lovely. It just adds so many layers to the story, and I really love it. Tekla is terrifying. She's terrifying in the same way Jones was terrifying when we first met him, of that she's an alien in full understanding of her abilities, of the capabilities of herself and her opponents. We don't fully know her end game, which is also terrifying, but she's also very exciting. But it's even worse. Like last season, it was anytime Max was on screen, I was like, is this really Max? Now, anytime anyone is on screen, I'm panicked that it's not really them. And no one seems to be adequately concerned about this. I mean, Tekla's already been like, oh yeah, Sophia has plans for Liz too. Well, anytime anyone walks up to Liz should be like, when we first met, what colour was my shirt? You know, I don't know, just something. Like, the way Tekla speaks, maybe she gets memory implants as well, so who knows. It's just so fascinating. And I think Max and Liz are going through the process that a lot of relationships go through, especially a relationship that goes through so much trauma so regularly, these two individuals, that they wanted things to just be the normal happy life. But you can't, for one thing, you can't force things to be perfect and happy. They either are or they aren't. I think they're getting to a healthier place with them both realising that they were maybe kind of trying to force an ideal picture of what their relationship should be onto their relationship, rather than just letting it breathe and letting it be, because their relationship is strong. Their relationship is built on trust and love that has been earned over time and time and time. It gets stronger every second. They will make it through any little bumps or whatever. I wish we were having Malik's little bumps, but no, they will make it through, and they will, Max is realising more and more that it's one thing to want to protect Liz, it's another to just not tell her things. Liz deserves to know what's going on with you, in the same way that if Liz was going through something, you want her to tell you. But I think they are both getting there, and they're going through these processes that are such natural relationship hurdles in these extra circumstances. I will miss Cam. I hope she comes back again before the end of the season, but it also does make sense that, given that these bank robberies have stopped or whatever, I don't know, that they're not that big a deal at the end of the day. She would be sent back to go and do actual FBI work elsewhere. I feel like I'm missing a plotline, and I'm so sorry if I am. My brain fog kicks in, especially when it's hot, and it is very, very, very hot today. I'm so worried about Michael as well. Like, my entire brain, like half of my brain is still being like, Alex, where is Alex? Is Alex okay? And then the other half of my brain is like, oh my god, Michael. And now these two bits are just clashing. And then there's the like, yay, God, Elizabeth, Max and Liz are gonna be fine. Ah! Explosions. But yeah, this was a fantastic episode. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, not 2 weeks in advance, today. And thank you so much for watching.